Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Tatiana and today I'm filming another book unboxing video. I honestly was not intending to film another unboxing video so soon. However, if you saw my anticipated releases video, you'll know that there were a lot of books coming out from September to now, which I was very excited for and had pre-ordered, and I feel like that is what is going to be in the majority of these boxes. I have 8 boxes here to unbox today, so I will put this stack to the side now because it's very heavy and just get on with the unboxing because I have a lot of exciting books that I've ordered. I can't wait to show them with you guys, and it's always fun to unbox some books, isn't it? So without further ado, let's dive into the unboxing. Now, I have stacked these in the order that I received them, so the books that have been with me the longest have been on top and the newest books that have been sent to me are on the bottom. So I'm gonna grab this parcel first, which is one that has been sent to me and I believe I know what it is, but I don't want to ruin the surprise just yet, so let's open it together. You can't get too much of a sneak peek, unfortunately, but there are 2 books in here and this is very shiny. But we have Villains Academy and Villains Academy How to Steal a Dragon by Ryan Hammond. I actually won these 2 in a Twitter giveaway. I obviously saw that it was happening and decided to enter because I feel like these books would be perfect for my classroom. For those of you who don't know, I am a primary school teacher and these just look like a lot of fun. Of course, we are in spooky season right now and some of my pupils would really love these. I feel like I could read one of these as a class novel because they are quite short and they just seem like they're going to be really fun. So thank you so much, Ryan, for sending these my way. I cannot believe that I won, but I'm so thankful. And he did actually message me asking if I wanted a certain dedication written in it, and I just said, well, I'm planning on putting it in my classroom, so if you want to dedicate it to Miss Thomas or my class, then go ahead. And he's put, this book belongs to Miss Thomas's class, Be Bad, and he has signed it. So again, the kids will love that. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and I just feel like that is lovely. And the kids are definitely going to feel like I'm a cool teacher now that I've had these sent to me and that they're signed. So just so that you can see, we have an example of an illustration here as well as some text. The text is quite large, so that's why I say I could possibly read it with the children because it is definitely at their level, which is nice. And it does have lots of fun elements throughout, which I do feel like they're gonna love. So on the back of this one it says, welcome to Villains Academy, the school where it's always good to be bad. When shy werewolf Brown Moon starts at the world famous Villains Academy, he's determined to prove that he's got what it takes to be wicked. With the help of new friends, Brown must find his inner badness and set out to be named Villain of the Week. That is really cool because a thing that happens in a lot of UK schools is Star of the Week. So you choose a pupil who has done something throughout the week that they deserve recognition for. Our school don't do it, but they did do it in the past and the kids are familiar with the concept. So again, I feel like they would love this. I feel like it's just going to be a really fun book to read as a class. And yeah, once again, thank you, Ryan, for sending me not only the first, but the second book as well. Next up, we have this big old parcel from Waterstones, which I did just try and unbox, but I got cut off because I tried to unbox it and failed. So this is take 2. I was in the middle of saying something, which is why I thought it would be best to just pause where I left off and try and open it, which I was thankfully able to do this time. But again, we can't get a sneak peek. It is a chunky book though, but let's see what it is. Oh! I wasn't expecting it to be this one. This one is the Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab, and I wasn't expecting this one because the publication date for this had been pushed back quite a bit, but now it's here and this is beautiful. It is chunky though, as I've said, but I do love the style. I love that they've stuck with the red, white and black theme, and this one is definitely an anticipated release for me because this is a book set in the world of A Dark Shade of Magic, which is V.E. Schwab's first trilogy, but this is happening further on in the future, following the same characters, but of course different things are happening now, which I'm guessing put them in danger, and we are following them as it all unfolds. Now, unfortunately, because this is a book following characters that we are aware of from a previous trilogy, I can't tell you too much about this book in particular. However, in the first book, which is called A Dark Shade of Magic, we follow Kel, who is an Antari, which is basically a wizard in this world. He lives in Red London and is the adopted son of the royal family, who use his Antari abilities to their advantage. So they send Kel between different Londons Londons. We have Red London, which is where he lives, White London, which is another London that has magic, but it seems to be a darker side of it. We have Grey London, which is our London, a mundane one with no magic, and we have Black London, which is completely forbidden to travel to because something happened there a while back, and yeah, it's essentially no longer a world that exists. But what the royal family doesn't know that Kel is doing is that he is actually smuggling different artifacts from all of the Londons to the other ones in order to sell for a profit. And when one of these transactions goes awry, he bumps into Lila Bard, who at first tries to kill him and then ends up saving his life. And from this moment onwards, they are essentially bonded together and their fates are intertwined, meaning that they not only need to look out for themselves anymore, but also each other. And as we go on through the story, you find that they are destined to work together to try and save all of these Londons from a bigger conflict. I really hope that that summary made sense. I haven't read these books for about 2 or 3 years now, so I definitely need to refresh myself. I may even reread that first trilogy before diving into this one, we shall see. But I'm so glad to own this one now. I am very happy that it's finally out, and I can't wait to see what our characters are getting up to in a new series. Next up we have this one, which is a little bit thinner, so let's see what is in here. I honestly feel so weak when I try and open these boxes, guys, but ooh, we do have a sneak peek. You can see that we have an orange book there, and this one is Divine Might, Goddesses in Greek Myth by Natalie Haynes. If you don't know, Natalie Haynes has written a few Greek myth inspired retellings, and I have read from this author before. I read 1,000 Ships from her, absolutely loved it, but there are a few more books now that I do need to read. But she is an author that I've read from. As I mentioned, I'm familiar with her writing style, and I know that she is very interested in ancient Greek and knows quite a bit about it. So that is why I decided to order this book. This is also a Waterstone signed exclusive edition, which I had to snatch up. Oh, it has foiling on the book itself as well, which is lovely. And it does have these end pages, which has the night sky on there. We do have a signature, which you can see there, and it's in purple pen, which I just love. And I've told you guys a lie, actually. I've read 1,000 Ships and The Children of Jocasta by this author, which I did really enjoy. So there we go. I've read 2 out of her 4 fiction books, and then I haven't read any of her non-fiction books, but I do have Pandora's Jar on my shelf there, and this is going to be the second one. So if you couldn't tell, this is going to be focusing on all of the women from Greek myths, and she is presumably going to tell us the stories of these women from their points of view, because they're not treated all too fairly in the Greek myths, and so I am very interested to see how they are depicted in this one. And I just want to learn more about them in general, because I do have a fascination with ancient Greece. I love learning about all the different gods and goddesses and what went on during that time, and so this was just a no-brainer for me. I've had it pre-ordered ever since I heard about it, and I can't wait to put it on my retelling shelf and get to it relatively soon. Next up is this one. Wow, I had to fight against that one, you guys. And this is actually another one we can get a sneak peek for. It's another chunky book. I was not expecting it to be this big, but oh my goodness. This is beautiful. I am loving the way that this book looks. So let's not keep you in suspense any longer. This is the Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin, which is the newest book in the Serpent and Dove series. Now, I don't know if it's part of the series or if it's another book in the same world, so I will have to look into that. But this is the Waterstones exclusive edition, and it has these gorgeous stenciled edges. Look at these, you guys. Look at the skulls. I don't know if there's a misprint on mine though, because there is this mark here. Sorry if the lighting has changed, my camera cut off, but yeah, can you see it's like the bit of black here has come off, so I may have to complain because I do feel like that's just a misprint. But look how cool these edges are. Also, these look a lot darker than these. These look like they've faded a little bit, so I don't know what's going on there. But since I can't tell you too much about this book in particular, I have just grabbed the first book, which is Serpent and Dove, off of my shelves. I have read this one, but it was so far back now, I don't really remember what it's about, so I will read you the synopsis. It says, 2 years ago, Louise LeBlanc fled her coven and took shelter in the city of Kesserine, forsaking all magic and living off whatever she could steal. There, witches like Lou are hunted. They are feared, they are burnt. Sworn to the church as a chasseur, Reed Diggory has lived his life by one principle: thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. His path was never meant to cross with Lou's, but a wicked stunt forces them into an impossible union. holy matrimony. The war between witches and the church is an ancient one, and Lu's most dangerous enemies bring a fate worse than fire. Unable to ignore her growing feelings, yet powerless to change what she is, a choice must be made. So essentially, a witch has to marry a witch hunter, and we follow the chaos of everything that ensues as a result of that. I haven't really been wanting to read the synopsis of this just in case it spoils me for the rest of the series, because I have 2 books left in the Serpent and Dove trilogy that I do need to read. So once I get to those, I can read this one and let you know what it's about, but as of now I don't know too much about it. It is gonna stay that way for a while, but at least I have this gorgeous edition now to put on my shelves and to put with the rest of these books, so that hopefully I can binge them soon and get to this one. This seems to be another smaller box, so let's see what's in here. Again, I can give you a sneak peek because the spine is facing outwards, and I was actually debating whether to cancel my order of this one because I do feel like it's going to be an Illumicrate book, but I decided to just go for it. I'll see what the Illumicrate book looks like and then I will possibly send this one back. But this one is After the Forest by Cal Woods, and it is a retelling of Hansel and Gretel. However, we follow them years in the future after they have defeated the witch. Once again though, I will just read you the synopsis because I feel like you will get more of a sense of what this book is about through that. Obviously I haven't read this one, so I'm not too sure what to expect, but it says 20 years after the witch in the gingerbread house, Greta and Hans are struggling to get by. Their father and stepmother are long dead. Hans is deeply in debt from gambling, and the countryside lies in ruin, its people starving in the aftermath of a brutal war. Greta has a secret though. The witch's grimoire, secreted away and whispering in Greta's ear for the past 2 decades, and the recipe inside that makes the best gingerbread you've ever tasted. As long as she can bake, Greta can keep her small family afloat. But in a village full of superstition, Greta and her mysteriously addictive gingerbread, not to mention the rumours about her childhood misadventures, are a source of gossip and suspicion. And now dark magic is returning to the woods, and Greta's magic she is still trying to understand, may be the only thing that can save her if it doesn't kill her first. Doesn't that just sound amazing, guys? If you are new around here, you might not know, but I do love a good retelling, especially a fairy tale retelling, so I do feel like I'm gonna love this one, especially because they're adults now and we've moved past that initial fairy tale. I'm excited to see what Cal Woods does with the story and where they take it, but as I mentioned, this edition might be one that gets sent back because it's just a standard edition, and yeah, I believe it's going to be a book that we get in an Illumicrate box, so I'm thinking that that one is going to look very different. It's probably going to have a lot of special elements to it, so this may be one that will be getting sent back, but I'm glad to have unboxed it here because it is a beautiful book, the foiling is gorgeous, and the story itself is something that I cannot wait to read. We are getting there, guys. We have 3 parcels left to unbox, so let's see what we have in this one. Again, it's the thinner one and I don't actually know what it could be, so yeah, we can't get a sneak peek. Let's see what it is. Okay, we have A Multitude of Dreams by Mara Rutherford, and I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting this to be a lot bigger. It is a very small book. I don't know if it's just deceiving though and that there are actually a lot of pages. I mean, kind of. There are 379 pages, but it just looks so tiny for some reason. But here is a closer look at the cover. This is beautiful, and all I know about this book is that it's inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. That is it. I was drawn in by the cover. That sounded like a pretty cool description to me, and I pre-ordered it based on both of those facts. From this one, I'll try to summarize the synopsis instead of me reading it fully for you guys, but we have Princess Imogen of Gosland, who has lived a sheltered life for 3 years in a boarded up castle, and she and the rest of the inhabitants have stayed there in order to ensure their safety because a plague is currently ravaging their kingdom, but we've gotten to the point where their rations are slowly dwindling and unhappy murmurings are threatening to crack the facade of the years-long charade being played within the castle walls. Then we have another character called Nico, and from what I can gather, Nico is a sort of servant to a lord, and this lord sends him to search for more plague survivors in the castle. And it just says here, Nico collides with a princess who wants to break out. They will each have to navigate the web of lies they've woven if they're going to survive the nightmares ahead. Sorry if that was a very disjointed synopsis, but I tend not to enjoy hauls when people read out the full synopsis for every book, so I'm trying not to do that, but this is essentially a dark fantasy novel which I'm here for, and I feel like it's going to have a lot of gothic elements as well, which is why Edgar Allan Poe's name is connected to it. But yeah, this cover had me sold. That description just sounds really intriguing and I cannot wait to read this. I may try and fit it into a 24-hour readathon that I'm doing towards the end of October. We shall see. But yeah, beautiful cover. I haven't read anything from Mara Rutherford before, and so I'm excited to see what I think of this one, because I think that she's actually announced a new book coming out next year as well, which I definitely need to look into. So yes, this is the next book, and I think it's very fitting to unbox it here because of the dark gothic vibes that we are getting from it. We've reached the penultimate package, you guys, and this is another big one that I'm struggling to open, but this is a very anticipated book for a lot of people, which you may be able to see what it is here. It's wedged in pretty tightly into the box though, and this one is Throne of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco, which is the newest book in the world of Kingdom of the Wicked. Now, I have actually just started this series. I read Kingdom of the Wicked last week, and it is definitely a series that I will be continuing, which I'm very happy now to have pre-ordered this one. In that first series, we follow twins Amelia and Vittoria, who are witches. Now, one night Amelia goes looking for her sister who hasn't returned home, and unfortunately she finds her dead body, and things have been done to this body that shows that it was a very brutal death, and it has some connotations to the wicked, who are princes of hell. From this point on, Amelia vows that she will do everything in her power to avenge her sister's murder and find out who killed her and why, and by doing this she accidentally summons a prince of hell. She summons Wrath, who is now bound to her and I guess is roped into helping her try and solve the mystery. But it's not as straightforward as that, because Wrath has a lot of brothers and they are all tricksters essentially. They all have something to gain from what is currently going on with the humans, and Amelia is trying to puzzle out who she can best trust in this awful situation where there isn't really a good option for her. So that's all I'm going to say about that one. But in this one we follow another one of the princes, Wrath's brother, who is Envy. That's all I know. I haven't looked at the description just in case it would spoil what went on in the second and third books, but I do believe that this is a new story following different characters, but characters that we are aware of from that first set of books. And yeah, it just says on the back she didn't want Prince Charming, she wanted the demon. So that has me sold. I am getting into fantasy romance as a genre. I've really been enjoying the books that I've read from that genre recently, so I am excited to get to this one. And now that I've read the first book, I'm desperate to carry on with the series and see where it takes me. So this should be one that's getting read soon, and yeah, I cannot wait to see what happens in this one and also what happens in the next two books in that first trilogy as well. Right guys, we have finally made it to the last package, and again, I'm not too sure what this could be at this point, so let's just see what we've got. Have we got a sneak peek? A little one. Oh, we have sprayed edges. Let's see what this one is. Oh wow, I completely forgot that this one was coming out. I can't believe that I'd forgotten that. This one is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which, if you don't know, is one of my all-time favourite books. But this is the new collector's edition, so I will give you a close-up because it's such a beautiful book. Now, it's definitely going to be hard to show you because of the foiling. It is very reflective, but how cool is that? And then we have these stunning stenciled sprayed edges, which again, I just love. I feel like it's a really nice touch. The back is a little bit boring, but stays in that same theme, and then the spine will not really want to focus that well, but hopefully you can see that there. I can't remember if this book is signed. I don't think it is. But we do have a letter from the author there, which I will be sure to read. I actually first became aware of the series at my first trip to Yelk, which I think was either in 2017 or 2018, and Holly Jackson was hosting a giveaway for arcs of the book. Unfortunately, I didn't get them there, but that is when I first saw Holly and was made aware of this book. And when it came out, I of course had to pick it up because murder mystery is one of my favourite genres, and we don't see too many good YA ones, so I was definitely intrigued, and boy was I I blown away. I will say the last book in the trilogy wasn't my favourite. It took a very weird turn, but the first book in particular was fantastic. The second book was not as good but was still very interesting, and the third one, again, same level as the second but was just a little bit lower in terms of enjoyment because of what went on. But Holly Jackson has since become an auto-buy author for me. I read 5 Survive at the start of this year, which I gave 5 stars to, absolutely loved, and that one is a standalone novel, so I would highly recommend. But yeah, I could not pass up the opportunity to get my hands on this gorgeous book. I really hope that there's going to be a collector's edition for the second and third books as well, especially as this book has been made into a TV show recently, which I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I have just seen that Holly Jackson posted on Instagram that she has seen the first episode, which is very exciting. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of hype surrounding this book again very soon, and I'm just so happy to have this beautiful edition because it's so gorgeous and I cannot wait to display it on my shelves. In this one we follow our main character Pippa, who for her school project has decided that she wants to try and solve a murder that occurred in her hometown. Now, no one was officially convicted of this murder, but everyone pointed their fingers towards a young boy at the time who unfortunately took his own life because of all of these accusations, and his family have been stained by that murder ever since. However, Pippa doesn't believe that it was as straightforward as that. She starts investigating and also goes to the brother of the accused murderer and tries to get him involved in the case as well, and their dynamic is fantastic. I really do love it. Pippa as a main character as well is so interesting. The way that this is told is fantastic, as I mentioned, and from what I can remember this is mixed media as well, so if you do like that aspect in your books then you will really enjoy this one. Yeah, so we have transcripts here, we have case notes, we have recordings, we have documents, it's all there and it's definitely worth the read. So if you couldn't tell, I would highly recommend this series. If you're not sure whether to commit yourself to a full series yet though, definitely try out Holly Jackson's newest book, which is 5 Survive, as I mentioned. You will get a taste for her writing style there and a sense of what she can do with a murder mystery plot, and yeah, she's just fantastic, and I'm so glad to have this stunning edition of the book because it is one of my favourites. I will be keeping my paperback books as well just so that I can read those ones, but this is beautiful. I can't wait to get my hands on more of these editions, and I am very glad that I did decide to pre-order this one. So there we have it guys, these are all of the books that I've unboxed in this video. There are definitely quite a few, but they are all ones that I'm so excited for and I am very happy to now own them. Not gonna lie though, I don't actually have a clue whether they're gonna go on my shelves because my shelves are jam-packed right now. I have done an unhaul recently, but this has me thinking that I definitely need to try and make room for more books. So another one might be incoming. I may have to take another look at my shelves, but we shall see. As I mentioned though, I'm really glad to own these and I am very happy to past me for pre-ordering them. If you have made it this far through into the video and would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and leave me a wolf emoji down in the comments. Not only are wolves my favourite animal, but the main character in the first book that I unboxed, which is Villains Academy, is a werewolf. So I feel like that is pretty fitting, especially as we are in October, which is of course the month of Halloween and all the spooky mythological creatures such as werewolves. I know I say it all the time, but seeing you guys comment the emoji of the video truly does mean the world to me. It baffles me that you guys watch these videos all the way through, so if you are still here but don't have anything in particular that you would like to say, please do go ahead and comment that now. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. But that is it for me today guys. Thank you once again for watching and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!